Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Candid Conversations with Darrell Fitzgerald is a show where you will learn something new. It's a show for the courageous that wants to be engaged. A show where we discuss any issues that affect the lives of people. And a show where we take inventory of our lives decisions. Welcome to Candid Conversations with Darrell Fitzgerald.
Welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversations with Darrell, the show where we never sugarcoat, we go in depth, and we ask the hard questions that our viewers want to hear. On the previous show, we had the pleasure of talking about a very interesting topic, which is the keys to keeping a healthy relationship. And that's such an interesting topic because relationships is sort of like the principle of everything in life. I see everything is built upon relationships, and we need to have more healthy relationships in our world, in our lives, whether it be personal or whether it be through business. We have to know how to keep good relationships. So I want to continue our conversation about keeping a healthy relationship. We're going to still focus on relationships, personal relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, or spouse relationships. And we have the pleasure of having a woman guest again on the show. I always love to hear what women have to say about relationships. So let me just introduce my guest to the viewing audience. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, audience. I am Gloria Jenkins, and by no means I don't claim to be an expert, but I'm just only speaking from my experience.
Oh, well, I'm sure you have a wealth of knowledge that you'd like to share with us.
Yes.
If you had to pick one specific topic that you feel was necessary for keeping a healthy relationship, Ms. Jenkins, what would that characteristic be?
I would say commitment.
Commitment?
Yes. These days, the term friends with benefits, I don't take that lightly because I feel as women, we are belittling ourselves in a way that we're not demanding the things that we need in a relationship. And I've been there, so I know. I only speak from experience. But now, a time in my life, I do have a committed relationship. It's not the typical relationship. We don't see each other on a regular basis. We communicate on a regular basis, but we make the best of it day by day. Now,
how would you describe commitment when you say commitment?
Being dedicated to one another. You have to be dedicated to that person. You know, if there's any flaws in that, that's where the devil kind of comes in and kind of like steals that joy of what could possibly have been. So, like I said, through my life experience, I've learned over and over what my mistakes have been in my past, and I haven't had a chance to kind of like reevaluate myself and sit back and take a few years off and venture out, do a soul searching, and that's what I did. So commitment, I always found that was my biggest problem in every relationship I had because it was a lack of my commitment.
Oh, okay. Now, how does a person actually value commitment in a relationship? Well, I mean, what do we have to do to value commitment?
You will have to find somebody compatible with yourself. And have someone to value you as you value them. Commitment is taken so lightly these days, it's just not even funny anymore. It's like non-existent sometimes because there's so many distractions out there. Women are halfway naked all the time. You turn around, when it gets hot, we see it all the time, and it's a lot of distractions for a man versus a woman, you know, so it's kind of hard. Like I said, I still battle like that big problem, and that's commitment. Because I haven't been in a committed relationship in so long, so it's kind of hard for me to give that up until I know exactly what it is.
How do two people treat one another when they're committed? What keeps a committed relationship? Does it have anything to do with how you treat each other?
Of course, you have to have respect for each other. You know, you have to have your personal space. We have to have that. You know, it's not all about just being up under each other. You know, you have to take take interest in what they like and what they do, and vice versa. And I think if we kind of like committed to more of each other and not the outsides, I think relationships will last a lot longer. These days, relationships, you hear marriages all over, divorce, divorce, divorce. And I've been married once, and I can honestly say that I was the one that didn't put 100% into my marriage. Wow. I was the one that failed that marriage. Looking forward to doing it again, but I know so much more now.
Well, that's interesting. You actually share that with the viewing audience because, not too many people want to share
right.
something like that because it's sort of an indiscretion.
Yes.
But I'm sure that by you having that experience, you learn something from being that experience. So if I don't know how how was that experience for you? Being unfaithful. Were you unfaithful in your relationship?
I was. And my husband and myself, we were totally the opposite. I like to go out and hang out with my friends. He was a homebody. He didn't hang with friends. I hung with friends. He didn't drink or party. I did that type of thing. So when we got together, I really didn't take our marriage serious. I always wanted to still hang out with my friends that had no husband, no man to go home to, and I took advantage of that. And I always be the first one to say that I was the one that failed my marriage, and a lot of people are surprised that I would admit to that, but I have to be honest about it, and it was myself that did that. And we're still good friends to this day, and but I learned so much from that.
Did you have when you say you learned so much from it, did you learn some negative things being unfaithful?
Yes. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and we may look at it that way sometimes, but I would go back if I could, and I would put all into my marriage. And I think we could have had a positive relationship to this day, raising our children together. And so, like I said, I learned a lot from that, and I don't mind speaking on it. Maybe it can help the next person to see what they have and value what they have at home.
Ms. Jenkins, do you think it's easy to keep a happy marriage? You
have to be dedicated to want to do so. I honor my sister and my brother-in-law's marriage. They've been together over 22 years, I want to say. I don't want to get it wrong, but they've been together for a long time. And I always ask my sister, what is it that keeps you guys together the way you do? I never hear any arguments with them. I never hear anything, but they keep their relationship together inside the home. They don't take it outside the home. I don't hear anything about any negative or anything like that. So they work it out amongst each other. And so therefore it's not out in the streets, and there comes the negativity.
Wow. So one of the keys probably to try to keep and maintain a marriage is to keep your dirty laundry at home, or keep
of course
or keep things internal.
Oh, I hate
keep your business in the house.
You have to do that.
Keep everything internal. Would you say that would include working out things in between the two people in the relationship or in the marriage?
Right.
So you don't go outside the house, and when you're having problems, things aren't going well, and let's say you have an issue with your spouse, you don't go outside of the house and start to, belittle the other individual, speak negatively about the other individual. I guess you have to hold each other in high esteem when you're in a marriage or a healthy relationship. There's an old adage. I guess I saw it in the scriptures in the Bible where it says, "Hold other people in high esteem than yourself."
Yes.
If you hold other people in high esteem than yourself, then you're going to present yourself with a certain level of respect,
of course,
and admiration,
of course,
for the other individual. And we've also heard, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
That's right.
So, I guess there's a lot of mutuality that has to be part of a healthy relationship, or keeping a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
From, I guess, every aspect.
Yes, one person can't do it alone.
Would you say that communication has a lot to do?
Of course,
with keeping a healthy relationship or healthy marriage, and what do you think people need to do in terms of how they communicate with each other to keep the relationship healthy?
I know now what I didn't know then, and that's never to go to sleep when something is bothering me, because it festers and then it comes out and it's totally wrong. It should have been addressed hours ago or when it actually happened. And I know that was my issue with communication, because I didn't do that. I didn't know how to do that. So, like I said, that was 20-something years ago. So I'm in a better place now. And so I know my next marriage is going to be like Velcro.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you're going to make sure it's tight like Velcro.
Absolutely. And I have to learn that person. I have to know that person. My last relationship was 4 years ago. And it only lasted a brief few months, and I realized at that point why my relationships never lasted. It's because I never got a chance to know them.
Oh, okay.
Just jumping into a relationship, jumping into bed doesn't make a relationship.
Right, so it's really important to get to know the person.
Absolutely.
Really, really get to know the person.
Yes.
I mean, I guess learn them inside out.
And you have to, because
spiritually, learn them spiritually.
So you have invited somebody to your home and to your family, and they're getting used to this person. It doesn't work out 3 months later, and it's all my fault because I didn't take the time to get to know that person.
Really interesting. There was this pastor I heard preach this weekend. He was talking a lot about relationships, and he said something to the effect that a lot of people fall in love with performance, the performance of a person, and not fall in love with their personhood.
Right.
Meaning that who you are. Because I mean, in order to keep a relationship healthy and maintain it for, let's say, a long period of time, a level of commitment, you have to really get to know that person.
Yes, you do.
I mean, you have to know that person. You have to like that person.
Absolutely.
You have to love that person. You have to adore that person.
Right.
You have to know their personhood,
Right.
as opposed to just performance. Because a lot of times we get swayed, people get swayed
Yes,
in the moment,
easily.
or in the experience. Okay, you were talking about earlier in the segment where you said, you have a lot of people out there talking about, I have friends, I'm friends with benefits. So that means they're involved with all types of illicit relationships. They could be sleeping with 2 people, 3 people. This man sleeping with 2 women, 3 women, and I think that kind of makes things sort of complicated.
It does. Because one person is always going to get more feelings than the other person, and that's when it's going to be complications with that friends with benefits, as they say. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I think people are they're confronting themselves with maybe a little bit too much than what they can handle.
Right.
They spread themselves thin. This whole idea of having your cake and eating it too.
Right. Right. What
maybe
happens when it comes
people
to?
eat too much cake.
Oh yeah, exactly. Maybe
they
so.
get so caught up with the performance.
All right.
What people do with performance,
Right.
they don't appreciate the person.
But see, when you think about performance, sometimes we don't always live up to those performances. So what happens when the performance is not where it once was? So what happens? What happens then? And so back to communication.
Right,
it goes back to communication.
Right, exactly. Are you still going to like that person? You still going to love that person? You still going to appreciate that person?
Down at the bottom.
I mean, when you met them, they might be a certain way. Now, people are going to change.
Right.
We all change throughout time. We all change.
Yes.
We get older. Our physiques may not be the same.
But one thing we have to realize that we can't change nobody else.
Right.
And I have been in relationships where I felt I can change this person. Commitment was there, but it wasn't a healthy relationship. It was verbal abuse, physical abuse. It got to that point, and so, do I really want to be in this committed relationship with this person? Right. So it's again back to getting to know that person.
I find it really fascinating what you say about the relationship you're in. Can you give us a little bit more detail about the relationship that you're in? Because it's not the typical relationship.
No. No, me and David don't have the typical relationship. We don't see each other as much as we would like. He's very demanding, has a very demanding position. He's a art director. So that comes with 70, 80-hour weeks. And we don't live in the same state, so it makes it even harder. So we rely on Tango. I just hooked up Tango. We rely on Tango and Skype. And you
use a lot of technology to stay in touch.
Yes.
Texting all the time.
Yes, I have used up all my memory for my photo in my phone. I have no memory left in my phone. I've been taking pictures all the time, trying to send them, trying to keep them up to date with my daily things I have going on.
So you say you two don't live in the same state.
No.
Okay, when's the last time you seen him?
March.
March.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a lot of time that lasts between you two. You don't see, and I honestly trust him. And I honestly trust him. I do. And you're maintaining a committed relationship.
Yes.
Across space and time.
You got it.
In the person's absence.
Yes.
Wow, well, that's a strong testimony.
And I don't have to worry about what I do because I'm not really doing anything. I know what I have in him, and I don't think anybody can take that place.
Well, I don't think everybody could. Everyone's built or suited for that type of relationship.
No. It takes a special type of person to be able to do that.
Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
In terms of here's a woman maintaining a commitment with a man that she's not even able to see that often.
Right.
And not even in your proximity. You're not even able to spend quality time with this man.
No.
So commitment is important.
It is. It is.
And there's a tremendous amount of value that comes with consistency in a relationship,
Yes.
and sincerity in a relationship, and love in a relationship.
And you
and
have to
keeping
seek
and
a higher
maintaining
being.
love.
You have to seek a higher being somewhere, somebody else to take you through this. Because we
to
can't do
navigate
it.
through it,
You got
to
it.
try to keep it, to keep
Yes,
the relationship healthy.
Healthy.
So you actually hit upon another key in terms of like the role of spirituality and faith,
Right.
and maybe your relationship with your higher power,
Yes.
to help maintain and keep that
That's
union
right.
healthy and wholesome.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Ms. Jenkins, you've really enlightened our viewers with some really important
I'm
things
so happy
about
I did. It's a pleasure to be here.
about relationships. If there's anything else you'd like to share with the audience about relationships, or something that you feel might be something that would help people keep a healthy relationship, certainly the floor is yours.
It's over?
No, you're still on tape.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I say, I honestly think that you have to find someone that you're compatible with. You have to be able to communicate with that person. Everybody can't communicate, we're not mind readers, So loyalty.
Loyalty.
Definitely. You have to be there. Like I said, there's a lot of distractions out there. And like I said, it takes a big person to be able to move past all of the distractions and keep to their focus that one person they have in their life. And I take my hats off to them. I haven't been in that part of my life. I haven't gotten to that point in my life yet. I'm in a committed relationship, yes. But will we still be in a committed relationship if we were together?
Right.
On a daily basis?
Right.
How would that work? And now that's the test right there.
Right.
So we're going to work through that. Like I said, we're going through that day by day. And I see nothing but good things for us.
Definitely. If you can maintain a level of commitment in this given situation,
Right.
where he's not present, you're not present,
That's right.
that says a lot.
Yes.
That really says a lot. So I really wish you the best in
Thank you so much,
your
Darrell.
relationship. I'm looking forward to the day when you invite me to your wedding.
Okay. You got it.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, Candid
got it.
Conversations with Darrell. We appreciate you tuning in, and you can tune in and find the show on www.accesstv.org, channel 3.